first big win. So we have a huge trophy that we won, I think, from one of the state meets, if I'm not mistaken. But the kids are energized about it. It gives them an opportunity to compete, but be thoughtful in how they're doing it. Use their brain, not just their athleticism.
No, Christ the King, is that a public school?
It's actually it's a parochial school.
Oh, it's a parochial school.
Correct. And actually, there's a work program where the students work 1 day a week to supplement their tuition. So they go to school 4 days a week. And at Christ the King, it's actually an extracurricular activity. So in addition to a full course load in 4 days that they're handling, they actually add this on top of it.
No, this is in Newark. It's school in Newark.
This is in Newark.
What parts of Newark?
239 Woodside Avenue.
Oh, okay.
North Newark.
I mean, I really never heard of Christ the King in Newark. Marjorie, you heard of Christ the King in Newark?
That's where I went to school at.
Is it?
No, of course not.
Oh, I she's from Detroit, Michigan. Not Detroit, Detroit, Michigan. So I guess for this program, it's the students are really being enthusiastic and having to debate other schools, not just schools in the United States of America, but schools outside of the United States of America, and actually gaining friends after these type of debates. From what Mike was telling us.
Indeed, that's exactly what's happening.
So who won the last debate? The last debate was when? When was the last debate?
The last debate was last week. That was between Boys and Girls High School of Brooklyn and Cicely Tyson of East Orange, New Jersey, rather.
Okay.
And East Orange won that debate. They beat them by 4 points, but it was a very intense debate. Previously, the Cicely Tyson had a debate against Christ the King, and that was also an intense debate. Christ the King won that one by 1 point. So these debates come right down to the very wire, and it's not something where you think somebody's going to run away with anything. And they keep you on your toes. You have to, even the school that has any kind of substantial lead can still lose in these debates if they don't use the right tactics. So it's more than just being able to debate. It's also the coaches being able to use tactics to narrow down the lead, as was exemplified by Coach K in her last debate with Cicely Tyson, where it seemed that Cicely Tyson was going to win, but tactics turned it around and allowed Christ the King to win.
So, Coach K, how do you pick students for the debate team? How do you come up with the students? I mean, there's only how many students on each team?
Up to 6.
Up to 6. How do you pick your 6 students for the team?
Well, it depends, because we don't always have the same students. It depends on...
Okay, so we have now on the line Siobhan. Siobhan, are you there?
Hello, Siobhan Robbins here.
Yes, Siobhan Robbins, you are here. Yeah, okay, Siobhan, you just hold right there. You are actually live on air now. You are live on the South Orange Maple Online Radio Experience. We have with us Coach K. We had your coach on air, but we had some difficulties with Skype, and he's no longer with us. Are you hearing us clearly?
I'm hearing you clearly.
Are you hearing...
I can hear you clearly.
Okay, all right, good. Wonderful. So, Coach K, you can continue and finish up your thought that you were talking about the 6 students.
Okay. Correct. We have up to 6 students per debate, and I try not to use the same students for the same role within the debate. Sometimes we'll have somebody open the debate. Sometimes they might, on the next debate, they end up being involved in the rebuttal portion. Ultimately, the reason why I'm a part of this program is because I want to see the students grow. I want to see them blossom. So I don't always have them operate in their area of expertise. The goal is for them to get better and become more confident at something that they weren't always confident in doing. So I really just choose based on knowing what was important to them when they began the program. Also, maybe an area that they haven't tried before, or an area where I see passion in that particular debate. If they feel confidently or passionately about a particular argument, I might involve them in the rebuttal and that portion of it. And if they're doing a lot of research for that particular debate, I might have them on the closing, because I think they'll do a better job really taking notes and really picking apart the other team's argument and then bringing it home for us.
So
What do you do?
You are
Yeah.
still being strategic as well
Oh, always.
with regards to the people that you put on the team. It's still,
Absolutely.
you have to be very strategic. Go ahead, Margie.
What do you do to prepare the students? And how much time do you spend preparing?
Yeah, I wish we had more time. Again, our students are a little bit unique in that they have it as an extracurricular activity because our course load won't allow it as a class. We're still working on getting it there. So depending on when the debate is, we'll practice more frequently the weeks prior to a debate. So a few times a week for that. In preparation, even if we're not practicing in person, I'll have them to review the material, maybe look into some of the background, look into history, look into various approaches to the argument. Just try to be a little bit more creative.
So you know
that
what the argument is before, or, I mean, do you sort of, yeah.
we get it a few weeks in advance. Not always very far in advance, but usually at least about a month or so.
Now, is it Siobhanis?
Siobhanis, right here.
Siobhanis Robinson. Now, you are attending Boys and Girls High School, right?
Yes, I am.
What grade are you in at Boys and Girls High School?
I'm currently a junior at Boys and Girls High School.
In the junior at Boys and Girls High School. And you started there as a freshman, correct?
I started as a sophomore. I migrated from Jamaica to America.
You started as a freshman. I'm sorry, I didn't hear you.
I started as a sophomore.
What have you learned from participating in these debates? How has that impacted your grades or the way you view your studies or anything?
Well, this debating specifically has impacted my life in so many ways. It's like not just in my school performance, but in my daily life. It's like debate becomes a part of everything I do now. Like everything that I'm about to do, I start to weigh evidence, to see what I can do to relate. What can I relate this to? How can I prove my argument? Everything that people say is like, it's a whole like a mental battle in everything I do these days because my mind has become debate strategic.
What do you mean? Give me an example of that. What do you mean your mind has become debate strategic?
All right, let's just say we have a situation, I'm talking to somebody, trying to work something out. Instead of just talking as a regular person now, I'm like, okay, and what evidence do you have to support that? Because everybody can say.
I'm sure your parents are really appreciating that. Go ahead.
Yeah, so basically everything that I do these days is really more intellectual, even in the way that I speak.
Excellent.
Wow.
You see, Siobhanis, I am from Trinidad and Tobago, and my co-host here, Siobhanis, one of these
We're
days
not talking
we would like
about
you to
you
come
and
into this
I
studio
today,
to
right
see
now. We're
the kind of eye that my co-host normally gives me, and the kind of she has a thing with people from the Caribbean. I don't know what it is.
No, how gigantic. Now, what evidence do you have of that?
But you just saw it. You should have heard when you said you were from Jamaica. She was like, oh, yeah.
I didn't hear what he said because I don't, it's not loud in the studio. You can only hear it through.
You didn't hear when he said he was from Jamaica?
No, I didn't hear any of that. Mike had the headphones on. I just
You
took
missed
the
that part?
headphones. Yes, I'm missing a lot because we don't have enough headphones. What evidence
Okay.
do you have of
All
why
right.
you don't have enough headphones? That's the question I'd like to
I'll
know.
take the blame for that as a guest.
No,
tonight.
don't take the blame, sis.
So,
At any rate, you just stay out of this
yeah,
if you don't
Siobhanis.
have any evidence.
but
Well, wait a
Siobhanis,
minute, he was explaining something, and
Okay,
you
go ahead.
interrupted his.
Go ahead,
How do you
Siobhanis.
deal with it, Siobhanis, when people interrupt? Can you do that in a debate or what?
you have to do that in a debate.
Excuse me, I didn't hear.
Well, in debate, we don't really accept interruptions. We usually listen and then we speak to make sure we hear clearly what the next person said.
That is right.
Okay,
So,
okay.
how has this impacted the way you do you're in the 10th grade, or what grade are you in? right
11.
11.
now? How does this impact the way you're looking at, let's say, U.S. history right now?
U.S. history. Well, for me, knowing I'm from the Caribbean, U.S. history for me now is like super fascinating. Learning all this new stuff, seeing all this stuff, and even learning about religion and what religion was used to do. All this kind of stuff, it changed my mind and the way I view a lot of things completely different.
Do you think this has something to do with the context of the textbook? I mean, the Solomon's Adventures, the book itself, or in a way of thinking about things? I'm not really sure how to phrase that question.
Well, it really is a combination of both. It's like the whole fact that I've been introduced to debating. Me personally, before I became a debater, I was very argumentative, and I really always have something to say. People always say I always have something to say. So now that I became a debater, the whole debate changes the fact that now I don't only be argumentative, but I'm argumentative with a purpose.
Yes, you're argumentative for a purpose. So, how many other guys or how many other people are there with you at Boys and Girls? There's six of you, or how many are on the team?
There are currently 8 members of the team right now. So usually when you get an argument, Mr. Page, they would like split the class into like 4 for one side and 4 for one side, and we actually debate each other when we get a topic.
Do you have any questions for this young man here?
Shivanis,
I'm right here.
are you going to be ready for your next debate? And you might tell them what the name of that debate is.
Well, the next debate is, are we heading towards a plutocracy or a democracy?
Woo.
This is a very exciting topic. Right now, my team is just interested to know what side are we going to have. There's supposed to be a coin toss tomorrow, I was informed.
Is there a side that you would prefer?
Yes, I would prefer democracy.
No, Shivanis. If most people, I am sure that when you guys go to the debate, and most people hear you from Boys and Girls High School in Brooklyn, they immediately think that you guys are going to be a pushover.
Yes, the neighborhood we live in does have a kind of how do you put this? Not such a very good reputation. So yes, they would look at us as a pushover until we become a part of the competition.
Yeah, because I know when I attended Boys and Girls High School, and then I left there and I went to Seton Hall University. You know, people used.
Really? Go ahead. Continue.
I could have gone to junior college.
Yes, keep going.
What do you mean by really?
Point. This is about them, honey.
It is about them.
Okay, all right.
I'm trying to relay the part with.
He's going to start telling about when he was a little boy in Trinidad. Go ahead.
You see she's talking about Trinidad again? Why do you always have to bring up Trinidad and Jamaica? Anyway, yeah, Shivanis, as I was saying, most people think that, when you're from Boys and Girls High School, that somehow you don't get the type of education that other folks get. And as I was saying that when I attended Seton Hall, people think I was, they used to call it do or die Bed-Stuy, and that I was a business major, and that somehow, I couldn't do the work at Seton Hall to be a business major. And when you look at the debate, I will think that other teams looking at Boys and Girls High School, they hear Boys and Girls High School, they said, oh, that's a walkover. And it's a walkover for them until they hear what you guys actually put on the table. All of a sudden, I can tell. I know for a fact. I could go out on a limb and say this. All of a sudden, they say, oh, man, we got to raise our game. This is not the stereotypical Boys and Girls High School students that we think of.
It's absolutely true.
Well, to be honest with you, that is so true. And I love the fact that they look down, because I love to prove people wrong. That's one of my specialty. Mm-hmm. So yes, we do get that a lot, but people just say that from being out on the street. But when you come into Boys and Girls High School, you will see that it's a whole different surrounding, and we might not have access to every bit of education, but we do make the best of what we have at Boys and Girls High School. And there's a whole bunch of intelligent kids at Boys and Girls High School that are not even a part of the debating team. So it is a common misinterpretation, but I like the fact that they do that, because they make it a little bit better for us when they underestimate us.
Now, how were you selected for the debating team?
Well, I was in law class, and we had an argument, and I don't stop until I win, practically, till I get my point across. So I was in law class and I was just arguing, and I'm always a student and nobody